that's aging, that's coming off the surgery last year, and we know just how bad this Steelers team is without Big Ben. He's got to be at 100% moving forward.
Jeff, how concerned are you about Lamar Jackson?
I'm concerned. You know why I'm really concerned, Greeny? Because I think he's been listening to all these dudes wearing coats and ties talking about what he should be. Like my man Swagoo. He should be a pocket passer. No, you know what you are? You're a playmaker, my man. The ball in your hand, you're a difference maker. Stop. Hey, we made our money putting our hands in the dirt. We forgot about that, right? Go make your money the way you could do it with the ball in your hand. Don't worry about development, man. Go win games for the Ravens. That's why I'm concerned for Lamar Jackson right now. Too many people talking in that ear, Greeny. Got to tune them out.
God, I can see you talking in Marcus's ear, and he's got a funny look on his face. Swagoo, your thoughts?
My gosh, Jeff Saturday, we were having a nice Tuesday morning, and then you come at me about Lamar. Listen, the bottom line is this. I was never a proponent of making him 100% pocket passer. I knew that he would need that element of his game to win games, and we can go back and look at the Pittsburgh game and see that they needed to have some form of a passing game. And this doesn't all fall on Lamar Jackson like I've been screaming as well, Jeff Saturday, which is why I'm so perplexed that you treat me this way. It was about Greg Roman also evolving this passing game and giving Lamar Jackson these options. Obviously, they felt like they needed help on the outside. They went and signed Dez Bryant. Don't become something brand new. Just add to what you have in the fold. We know the dominant run game. We know how dynamic Lamar is with his legs. My whole point for saying what I was saying about the passing game is if you plan on winning this Super Bowl and Patrick Mahomes' MVP award is standing in your way, you're going to have to throw the damn ball, Jeff Saturday. We all know it.
No, you don't. You ran for 250 plus yards against the vaunted Steeler defense. If you hold on to it in the red zone on 2 runs, that's a different game. All you got to do is protect it. You ain't got to be different. You don't think it's going to hurt the Chiefs if you go run for 250 and Pat Mahomes is watching the game on the sideline like you and I are doing from home on TV? That's what you want to do. Go run the rock. Go control the clock. Go do all those things. Don't become a pocket passer. Go 3 and out. Go play smash mouth football. Hey, Swagoo, you used to put your hand in the dirt and get nasty. We need some nasty football players. We don't need some pocket passing. We need some go-get-'em, dog. Come on now, Swagoo. You know better than that. If he controls turnovers, it's a different team.
Yes.
Gee, the hypocrisy of Peyton Manning center saying that we don't need to stand in the damn pocket and throw the football is mind-boggling to me. No, I get it, Jeff Saturday, and you are really hurting our friendship right now and our relationship because I'm trying to understand what part you don't understand about what I'm saying. But to your point, Jeff, here's the deal on a serious note. I think what Greg Roman did, which I thought was a great move in the Indianapolis Colts game, right? They came out and they ran the ball more successfully in the second half. But they also was able to work the middle of the field because of that. So I get what you're saying. Let the run open up the pass game.
Yeah.
My point is this. If you get 2 or 3 possessions where you get 3 and out, we know against Patrick Mahomes, you may find yourself 14 or 17 down. We know in those situations. I'm not talking about all games. The Ravens are a really good team, a really good defense. But that element has to be available to you if you plan on winning a Super Bowl. That's my only point, Jeff. Yeah. That's my only point, my friend.
Let me get Greg in here. Greg McElroy, quarterback's eyes. What are you seeing?
I thought it was a pretty good day. I'm trying to figure out where the concern's coming from, Jeff. I mean, I've got to be actually against you here, which makes me sad because I'm actually kind of leaning in favor of Swagoo. Lamar doesn't have to be a pocket guy. He's got to be great off play action. And by the way, he was great off play action, specifically in the second half. He was 8 of 8 for 105 and a touchdown, man. That's who he needs to be because we know there's a dominant team that can run the football, that can take the air out of the ball, but we saw a team that married up their run action with their play action. And that's something that's going to be really tough on defenses down the stretch. So I was trying to figure out, man, why is he concerned? This is a great day. They worked against a solid defense. So I'm encouraged, man. I really am.
All right, I'm going to send all of you to neutral corners
here
for the moment.
Saturday.
as much as I enjoy the debate. But week 9, as of last night, is officially behind us. So let's go through the winners and losers from this weekend. Graziano, who was your biggest winner?
I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. I went back to Thursday night. Look, this guy had one of the great games of his career, which is really saying something, and he did it against the team that the Packers couldn't beat last year. And I recognize the Niners are not that team right now. They're banged up. But still, I think psychologically at least, Rodgers playing the way he is and beating the 49ers, who were their nemesis last year, knocked them out of the playoffs. I think that was a big win.
They were more like the 39ers that night, but that's neither here nor there. Jeff, who was your biggest winner of the week?
I'm going Buffalo Bills, and I'm going to say this as much for their game plan as their execution, right? As they went at the Seattle Seahawks and said they can't stop the pass, their defense is historically bad. Josh Allen, go do you. And he did it. He executed flawlessly, and they took advantage. Their defense played fantastic. This was a huge game for the Buffalo Bills to beat up on the Seahawks the way they did.
How about the other side? Greg, who was your biggest loser this week?
Well, the Chargers continue to invent ways to lose. This time, Donald Parham looks like he's got a touchdown to secure the victory, only for it to be reviewed and for them to wipe it out, which essentially hands it to the Las Vegas Raiders. They've now had close calls against the Chiefs, who they lost to in overtime, the Bucks and the Saints, 3 teams that I think are among the best in all of the NFL. So this team is struggling to find a W.
Swagger, who's your biggest loser?
And for me, G, it's the Bucks. Listen, we knew the implications on the division. We knew how the percentages would switch if the Saints won this game as opposed to the Bucks, but they laid an egg. This doesn't mean the season is over and they don't have a chance to get into the playoffs and make a run. But this game was a total letdown based on where they thought they could be. Now they have to go reinvent themselves, try to figure out who they are, and push further along. But I thought they were the biggest losers of the weekend.
Okay, fair enough, guys. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but Dan Graziano leaned over and handed me a note that said I have news while we were having that conversation. Dan, what do we have?
Mentioned earlier in the show that the Steelers, Vance McDonald, the tight end, tested positive for COVID-19. The Steelers have put 4 additional players on the COVID-19 list this morning. One of them is quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. So as the week progresses, these guys, Ben Roethlisberger, Vince Williams, Jalen Samuels, Gerald Hawkins, and of course Vance McDonald, are all going to have to pass tests, continue to test negative if any of them are going to have a chance to play Sunday against Cincinnati.
Okay, yes, thank you. I was very quickly trying to look up who it is they're playing this week. So what does that mean? Take everyone through what the protocol is here. It's 4 or 5 days of negative tests.
Yeah, it depends on why they're on the COVID list. If you're on the COVID list because you tested positive, your return to play is a different procedure. If they're there because they've been identified as close contacts with Vance McDonald, then as long as they test negative and isolate for 5 days, they should be okay. Matthew Stafford last week was a close contact of someone who had been diagnosed with the virus away from the facility.
Right.
He had to stay away from the facility, ended up playing Sunday, but wasn't able to practice all week. So these guys, at the very least, looks like they'll be out of practice.
The understanding that we had here was that McDonald was feeling some sort of symptoms but continued to test negative leading up to the game, played in the game, and then tested positive on Monday, right?
Yeah, that's the understanding, yes. The tested positive after the game.
And so tested positive after the game.
Sunday night or Monday.
At some point after the game. And so obviously the Cowboys obviously will be worth keeping an eye on now as well.
They are off this week, but they've adjusted. They were going to practice tomorrow. Now they're not, so they're making some adjustments as a result.
Okay, so that's significant news there that we finish up our program with today. The Steelers putting 4 additional players on the COVID list, including quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. They are scheduled to play